Hello, everyone. Kimberly and David here. Hopefully this works because we're kind of in the middle of nowhere in a little town on just some people's, basically their property. It says it's an RV park, but they said we could hook up to the electricity. And David, it's raining, so he didn't want to bring out the electrical cord and hassle with it. So we just parked our RV here for the night, but we're in very secure. It's gated, and the two fences are locked, and the people are really nice that we're staying at their place. So it's all good. Yesterday, though, was probably the roughest day that we've had so far. It really popping the tire and losing all our stuff was nothing compared to yesterday. Deep breaths. You know how they say things come in threes? Maybe there's something to that, because yesterday was definitely the third thing, and I think we're over the hoops now. Since they come in threes, we're done, right? We're done. So when we first crossed the border, we had no issues. They didn't search our vehicle, and we asked them about a visa, and they told us we could get that in Guayamar, which is where we were going. And apparently, Guayamar is the furthest you can go. They have some rules that you can go a certain parameter in Mexico without getting a visa or a temporary permit for your vehicle. And they told us we could get that in Guayamar. And so we're like, we'll just head to Guayamar, because at the town, it was big and busy and just, so we just kept driving. And we get to Guayamar, and we look up the information, and we drive to what we thought was the place, and there was nothing there. And then we found a taxi, and we said, "Oh, can you take us here?" And the taxi, there's David. The taxi took us to some government office, and they couldn't help us. So we walk out to the street, and we find another taxi, and he actually spoke English. And so we told him our issue, and so he took us to another government office. And David walks in, and they can't help us. So then he drives us another 30 minutes to the third place. And we're thinking, okay, this is it. This is where we're going to get it. And no. So, 2 taxis, 3 places, and probably, I don't know, that last taxi was 40, but $50 later, and we spent several hours doing that in the morning, and then we basically got told we had to drive back to the border, which was 5 hours going the other way. So we were pretty, disappointed that someone told us we could get our visa in Guayamar, and that wasn't true. Guayamas, whatever. Guayamas. Someone told us we could get it in Guayamas, and they were wrong. So basically, do your own research, because some people, they just don't know what they're talking about.
And then when we got back to Nogales, they told us to go to this place in Nogales, and it said it closed at 5, and we went there before 5, and then they said they were closed, and they said we had to wait till Tuesday because of holiday weekend.
Yeah, and we have a ceremony that we have already signed up for, and
Friday.
Yeah, are meant to be at this weekend. And so we're like, what? Our hearts were just kind of sinking. We thought that was it, that was the end, that we were going to have to wait till Tuesday in this horrible town that was just, it wasn't where we wanted to be. And
then another guard there at the place, one guy, then another guy, and they told us we had to wait till Tuesday. And another guy's like, oh, well, you actually can go to the border to 21.
Yeah, this checkpoint on
kilometer 21.
Kilometer 21.
And so that's the one we were supposed to go in the first place, I guess.
Yeah.
So we went there, and then they said, hey, you can get your visa here. We got that. And they said you can't get your vehicle's visa. It's kind of what it is.
The
transportation permit.
And they could actually, if we go past Guayamas and at a checkpoint and we don't have that vehicle permit, they could take our vehicle, we found out.
Yeah.
And
so we went to there, and they're like, oh, yeah, you need to go here. Where? Here, huh? and they showed us a picture. They didn't really tell us where or what it was or how it was, and we're like, what the heck? So then we got some more information, and they're like, okay, well, you need to go here. So we went to the border at that point.
Well, we were trying to go to the border, and David, we had our directions in the GPS, and here we are driving a 35-foot RV around Mexico. Some of the roads are crazy, and David's driving like a champ, but it's stressful. You know, it's a little bit because we're
huge,
new at this. Yeah,
and the roads are jacked, and they're all over the place, and there's holes everywhere, especially in the cities. The toll roads are amazing.
Yeah, the toll roads are fine.
Most of them.
They're like a freeway. Most of the toll roads
they're better
are good.
than most freeways. The smoothness of the driving is better than most freeways, except for when you hit bridges. There's some bouncing, and Bertha goes like this.
I say we. We. But so
then we got to the border. We followed it. Said USA, go here. We went through Nogales, USA. We get there and they start flashing lights. You can't bring that motorhome through here.
There was no signs.
We couldn't turn around. They want us to back out. Then they extorted us and said, oh.
There was a police officer, and he's like,
yeah, you got to give us some money so we don't fine you.
Because
you're not supposed to be here. Even though the government has lacked in not saying we're not supposed to be there, but they said we're not supposed to be there, so they want our money, and they helped us turn around for some money.
Yeah,
Extortion.
It was extortion. And, you know, we could have kicked ourselves because David, after he gave the guy $150. Yeah. He was like, you should have videotaped that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, why didn't I videotape that?
Because videotape the cops, and they don't like extortion. They don't like to extort you while you're filming.
He told David to give him his license and just fold the money underneath it so that nobody could
Don't just hand me the money.
Don't just hand me the money. We don't want everyone to know we're, extorting. Yeah.
So then they tell us to go to another spot, and then we started going there, and that wasn't really the spot either. And then those guys were like, okay, you got to go down here, and they sent us to the spot that we first drove in through twice. We drove in through it, and that's the spot that they told us we had to drive back over the border to get our registration right. So we went over. That was the day before. We went over the border, got our registration right. Then we went through that spot, and they said, okay, you can get your stuff in Guaymas. Wrong. And so we had to go all the way back to that exact same location that they were supposed to stamp our paper there, that they didn't even give us a paper and tell us we needed one. Then we got that stamp, then we went back down to kilometer 21, and we got the paperwork, and it is 9:30, and it's dark. I'm driving in Mexico in the dark, which I was not going to do.
You forgot part of the story. So when we were going to get the stamp at the right place, the correct place, there was before the entry, some guy, he was wearing a vest.
Yeah.
One of those
neon
vests. Yeah, and he stopped us. He's like, stop. And he told us that the place was closed. And by this time, we were just like, what the fuck?
He's like, I'll take you to the right place.
Yeah, and he tried to get in our RV.
I'm like, no.
The door was locked, and he's like, I'll take you there. And we didn't trust it. We're like, who's this guy? We don't know if he works here.
Maybe that's why you don't drive at night.
Yeah.
In Mexico.
So this guy, obviously, I don't think he worked there, because when we went there, it was open, and we got the right stamp, and then we went back to the place, and it's 9:30 by this time. And, David has been driving around Mexico for hours and hours in circles. Yeah. So we just slept in the parking lot there.
Because there was a guard there, there was lights, there was train tracks. It seemed like maybe the safest place we could have parked in Mexico in the dark. Yeah. There was no RV parks anywhere near Nogales. The next one was 2-3 hours down the road. I don't want to drive anymore in the dark. Oh, we saw a baby horse running across the road.
That was cute. But the thing that really gets me is that we didn't think more about the cops. Everyone knows that Mexico jails, you don't want to go to one, right? But these police officers, they know that, and they use manipulation and extortion, especially with Americans who don't speak very much Spanish.
Sí.
And the guy spoke enough English. I wish I would have videotaped him and really called him out on his bullshit.
And if you're filming cops out here, that's when they're a little more honest. That's when they don't quite extort you as much. That's when but I forgot about that at that moment. So we got way into this corner. We had to turn around. They're like, oh, because we have to turn around, you got to pay the fine because it's illegal to be here, but you can be here, but it doesn't say you can't be here. But you can't be here, so you can't go here, but it doesn't say you can't go here, so you have to pay.
You have to pay us under the table because we say you can't go here.
And so we woke up early this morning and drove out of there as the sun was just starting to light the sky.
Yeah. And we drove all day, and we got to the next RV spot that's really, I mean, they have electricity, but...
Super amazing place.
But yeah, it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
It's like on a little farm ranch, little home
I'll show you guys.
Farm ranch.
It's kind of, just a little ranch. We're just parked in their yard, basically. But they were really sweet, and we feel safe. It's gated, and so it's all good. But this is the one lesson that I want everyone to understand. We've got to stand up for ourselves, especially, when we're foreigners in another country like Mexico. And the stories, everybody knows that the police will extort, especially American citizens. And I'm so pissed that we didn't think of it at the time to film him and call him out on his shit, to stand up for ourselves. And because this has got to stop. That kind of shit's just...
And it could have been that easy of just like, oh, what was your name? What did you say we need?
Mm-hmm.
What do we? We're not supposed to be where? With
right.
filming it would have probably made the difference. But we paid a lot of money for all this bullshit. We drove all the way down to Guayama. It's like 5 hours, and then 5 hours back. And we stayed the night. It was a nice night. We had some good food and some good friends and a good time on the beach and a nice little swim in the ocean. It was perfect. Everything's just perfect. We got all this wonderful time together, and of course we love it.
I just want everyone to really stand up for themselves. Like, even just because someone has quote unquote authority over you doesn't mean they can extort you.
You don't need to wear a face diaper everywhere you go.
Yeah. And it's so silly, even here in Mexico, when we went to get our visas, it's in a building, an enclosed building. No one said anything because we didn't wear our face diapers. We typically don't. Yeah, and they never said anything to us. And then the next spot,
the registration
part, they're behind glass, wearing masks, and it's outside. Like we're standing outside. It's not in an enclosed building, right? And they told us they couldn't serve us until we went and got a mask. So we had to go find someone, buy a $1 mask, and then go back. And then the woman talking to us.
It's like the little glass window that's like covered. So you can't even hear them.
I know. You can't hear them. They had, yeah. And so she took her mask off, and I went to take a picture because I was like, she told us she wouldn't serve us without a mask, and she's taking her mask off, and she hurried and put her mask back up, but I got her later pulling her mask off. So it's all stupid. All this stuff is so dumb. I just want everyone to really understand, stand up for yourself, stand up for your divine sovereign rights, no matter where you are.
Freedom!
Yeah.
Freedom ring.
Yeah. If people want to choose to wear face diapers and, live in fear, that's fine. I support it. I support freedom of choice in whatever you want to do. You want to choose to put poison in your...
Suffocate yourself and make it so hard to breathe, whatever.
But don't tell me to. So, anyway, those were our lessons. Next time, if we ever get hopefully we don't, but if we get stopped by a police officer and they try to extort us, I will be filming it and calling them out on their shit.
But most of the time, all these little police checkpoints, all the way down, military checkpoints, police checkpoints, they're just kind of like, they don't want to mess with us. They don't want to mess with the big Bertha or something.
Yeah.
They just let us go by.
Yeah,
I just kind of keep going by anyways. I don't even really...
Nobody's like fully, gone through a whole...
search,
yet.
Just basic. Someone looked
they come in, they looked at the fridge, they kind of just peeked around, but no one went through a full search. At one point, we had like our staffs up with feathers on them, and some of the guys came in when we were going back through the USA border to get our DMV, our tags,
Plates,
registration updated. They did say, are you guys American Indian? You might need to show proof or something. So we just kind of put our staffs under some pillows, and we're like,
They're usually right there. They're kind of tucked down.
They're tucked in. We haven't pulled them back out yet, but
But now we're further on our journey. We're closer to our destination than where we came from, which is really amazing, which is really neat. It's a good feeling. A lot of the fears and a lot of the worries that were programmed in us, that were told to us that we should have worried and all that bull.
They're not true.
Not
I mean,
really.
the
There
one
wasn't
driving
really
at night,
that.
I can see.
Because there's some weirdos on the side of the road, and every time there's a speed bump in the day, they try to sell you stuff. Every time there's a speed bump in the night, maybe they try to extort you. I don't know exactly.
We just
stayed
kept our
away
door
from
locked.
most of that.
Yeah. And we
then
knew
the
intuitively.
The kids in the rain trying to wash our window just right down the street at this place. 50 kids in the road trying to wash their window. It's pouring rain on them. Kim's like, oh, I'm going to give them some money. She starts giving them money, and then they're like, oh, we want more money. They're like, clink, 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 give me more money.
I know. Then they're like all the
holy
kids came
crap.
over and started being like, me. And I'm like, I already gave you. Like, I was out of change, except for, like, I had a few American, coins left, and I started giving. And then they got really aggressive and started banging on the window. And I opened my window, and I was like, no! And he went away. Yeah, I totally mommed it. I'm like, you're not going to do that.
But they still tried to follow us, right? They saw us. They watched us get changed. She's like, they kept pointing at me like, one more.
I know,
Man. But then the guy at the gas station, he spent a lot of time washing our window.
Oh my gosh, he made it
so clean.
I know.
So clear,
we had so many
awesome.
bugs all over the
And
windshields,
rain strips
and he
and dirt all over it.
he went the extra mile, made sure there was no
He earned
bugs.
it.
Yeah,
he
he
worked
earned
for
it.
his money. It was great.
Yeah, he was so sweet. He didn't ask for
He
anything.
appreciated it.
He didn't expect anything, and so I gave him almost like a day's full wage in Mexico. And he was very appreciative. He was really sweet. So I think the moral of that story is when you work hard and earn your money, then it's a lot better than these kids that just go and beg. When you give them money, then they expect it and they start banging on your windows. And I don't think we're teaching them anything by
The
giving them money.
machete's coming out next time.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I
you
would
want
say
more?
don't give money to the kids because it's like this program
They need
of
to earn it.
expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like the ones back in the States. They just get everything and they don't appreciate anything.
Yeah,
You gotta earn it. I worked my ass off to get where I'm at. I worked 20 years to be able to do what I'm doing now. I worked my ass off to save up just a little bit of money so that we could do this.
Yeah.
And do it all for all of you. For all of it. All of love. For all the love of all.
So we're not far now from our final destination, and I don't know if you guys know our story,
One more night.
but we are on the path of learning to serve sacred plant medicine. So, like, we're gonna go learn how to do Cambo and Bufo and all these different plant medicines to heal the people.
Plant, animal, natural medicines, natural indigenous medicines, tribal medicines that really help open the heart, open the mind, open the soul, open you to your purpose. We're here to learn that so we can help you.
Yes, all.
Todos es familia.
Todos.
All
Everyone is our
family.
family. Yeah.
And we're here to serve all of our family. We're here to learn more so we can better serve all of our family because it's been such an honor to serve you with the love in our hearts that we shine to you every day.
Yay.
And night. All the time.
And if you guys haven't ever done any plant medicine or sat in a ceremony, I can tell you from my experience, it's one of the most special and amazing things ever. I see people's lives transformed after sometimes just one ceremony.
One night and people's lives are
their hearts are open and I can see their energy shift. I can tell the difference when someone comes in and their heart's closed down and they, and then after they leave, they're hugging and laughing, and it's so amazing to see that transformation.
And it's our honor to serve. It is our highest honor to serve. We are so stoked and so blessed to serve. We threw it all away. We left it all behind to come serve all the people.
Yes.
And so, if you guys want to donate we would be appreciative. At one point, we're gonna be rolling on donations.
Well,
so
hopefully we'll be doing other things.
we have more than we need, and we always will.
We're sharing
But we're
our
also
journey.
accepting donations if you would like to help
I'll be
us
doing
along our
some
journey.
yoga classes online once we get settled in. So if you guys want to do yoga with me, I would love it.
Yeah.
I'll probably also be sharing some cooking. David and I are on a path of striving to go more raw vegan, because once food is cooked,
Your
it affects your white
body,
blood-
as soon
yeah.
as you eat cooked food, your body starts releasing white blood cells as if it's an infection. 1931, they knew this information, but they ain't gonna tell you because they want you to have an infection, so you'll get some Pepto-Bismol.
or whatever other pharmaceutical drug that's going to keep you sick and keep them rich. Yeah, our whole system needs to shift. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you are aware by now that we don't have a healthcare system. We have a sick care system. And most of the food out there is
Feeding the sick
poisoned.
care system.
Yeah, is poisonous, has a lot of preservatives and additives that are really harmful to our bodies. All the high fructose corn syrups, dyes, GMOs.
Poisons.
Yeah.
Down here in Mexico, food's a little cleaner. They don't allow high fructose corn syrup. They don't allow GMO
They still have a lot of
crops and
processed
spraying
food,
poison.
though, but
so
yeah.
we will be able to get better vegetables and better fruits, and so we want to live more off of avocados y mangoes.
We're just gonna eat avocados and mangoes all the time.
Avocados y mangoes. E is
yeah,
and.
I know.
And you know how to say avocado in Espanol? Avocado. You know how to say mango in Espanol? Mango.
Mango. our Spanish, like, we're really,
Getting better.
we're getting better, but it's muy difícil.
See.
When I do Duolingo, I'm like, oh, I'm really good. I can read it and understand. But then when people speak it, and I try to, it's more difficult to actually try to speak and listen because they talk so fast.
It sounds like. And I'm like, huh?
Can you slow down?
I think you said and.
We're learning. But, we're always on a path of learning, right?
Adventuring.
Yeah, if we're not learning, then we're stagnant. And
That's why we got kicked out of the house. Time to move and learn more. Follow your bliss, follow your joy, follow your
Yeah.
excitement. Listen to the signs, listen to what life's telling you. If you're praying for change, you're going to get it. So appreciate it when it comes, no matter what it comes. If you're going to ask for change, be willing and ready to receive the way that change comes in your life.
yeah.
So
One thing I've learned in life is the only thing I can control is my reaction to what happens. I can't control what happens. I can't control others, but I can control my reaction. And so I've learned to laugh at things that I used to get mad at, because guess who it affects if I get mad? Not the other person. It affects me, and it hurts my body. So we can always change the way we view anything. And David and I, we choose to laugh at situations and not take them too seriously.
Todos es ridiculoso.
Yeah. The only thing that makes sense is change, right? and
And the US
know,
Mint.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make sense either. But it does, but it doesn't.
But it doesn't. I know the earth is going to be experiencing a lot of change, and we're going to need to be able to flow with those changes and be okay with it. Most of the systems that are in place right now are not for our highest good. They really are not. They're to control us,
change.
and they all need to change. I mean, each and every one of us is a divine sovereign being, and a lot of that has been squashed out of us through the different education systems and programming. Television is the worst programming ever. David and I haven't watched TV for years.
Oh, I just saw some in the guy's house.
Did you watch it?
I looked at it.
I know. He was talking to us about COVID, and I'm like, what? COVID? Like, I haven't gotten sick. I'm not, if you look at what they're trying to tell you and believe it, that's programming, right? But if you go by what you see in the world, then, and following your highest bliss, then you're not following the programming.
So shine your love light, smile, and tell people you love them. Hug people. We are all people. We are all friends and family. Support one another. Face your darkness. Take care of yourself so you can take care of others, so you can bless others, bless yourself, love yourself so you can love others. And we're being the change. We're making this change. We're changing the world, all of us together. We're all in this together. We're all here for you together. We're all here for together.
Yay!
Todos es familia.
Yeah, everyone is our family. On my path, I used to see separation, and I saw everyone as being different from me and separate. And on my path, non-reply chat. Sorry, I wasn't looking.
Yeah. We'll reply to the chats after the video.
I'll
We're
reply.
the battery's just about ready to die.
I know, my battery is about dead.
So we are down at what area did you find this at? I don't know.
We're going to be going to Mazatlan tomorrow.
Yeah, we're way above Mazatlan. We're between Mazatlan and Guaymas. And we are heading towards Puerto Vallarta. Long drive. Much love.
I was going to say something, I don't know, but whatever.
Thanks, loves.
On my path, I learned that there is only one. And that will seem really foreign if you haven't researched it or had an experience with that. But let's just say that it's not true. Okay? That we're all separate and that we're not connected and that, if it's not true, but you behaved like it was and you treated everyone like it was you, you honored everyone like that was you, with respect and love, what would the world look like?
And we are all connected because
we are.
if you're touching the earth, and so are we. So is everybody else. So if you're sitting in your chair's touching the carpet's touching the floor's touching the joist is touching the piers is touching the concrete's touching the earth. If you're on your car, you're touching the earth through the tires and all the metal. And we're all together in this together. The earth is one living organism and we are all part of that. We are all one with the earth that way. You can't get off of it. I mean, they say they get off of it. There's some people that fly into space, supposedly. Or is that made up in the movie? So, no telling. But we're still all connected.
So funny.
Even without the Earth, we are all connected in the space, the air. We are all in the universe. We are all within the multiverses. So we are all in this multiverses together. Can you say no? Yeah, you gotta say yeah, because it's quite obvious that we are all in this universe together, and this is a multiverses, and we are all in these multiverses together as multiversalines, and we love you all.
Yes, we do. If God is love, and we're all unique emanations that stem from that original source of love, then we are all love at our core, and really getting back to that, like remembering who we are, that we are love and we are light, and dropping those barriers that have kept us from loving each other, because separation is the lie. We are one.
Thanks, loves.
So, we love you all. Thank you for sharing our journey with us. We love you guys so much and look forward to sharing more of our journey.
Yay, and if you like watching our journey and you'd like to contribute, please share this around with your friends. We also have a YouTube videos that we're going to be putting all this up as soon as we get availability to start posting all these videos up on YouTube. Wi-Fi and power. And if you want to donate, you can ask how, and we can go from there. If you need special prayers or support, let us know. If you need ceremony or whatever, someone to talk to, we're here for all. We are all here for all. Because we be the we that we be.
Whee! Love you
Thanks,
guys.
Thanks,
Mwah.
Thanks, Lev.